Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the Achiever in You. Welcome to Our Region's Business with your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, from World War II to the French and Indian War and lots more, a blockbuster lineup awaits visitors to our region this summer and those of us who live here too. Tourists and convention goers are expected to leave behind tens of millions of dollars, whether they're here to tour historic sites, celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Jeep, or attend several national conventions, including the Barbershop Harmony Society and the Fraternal Order of Police. Well, Craig Davis is here with more on what's turned out to be an all-American lineup this summer. He's president and CEO of Visit Pittsburgh. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Thanks so much, Bill.
Yeah, this is really shaping up to be one of those big years where everything seems to align.
It is. We've been talking about this year. 2015 has been on our books as one of the biggest years for the last several years. In fact, I've been in Pittsburgh for 22 years. I've never seen a year like this one.
Wow, and of course we're already almost halfway into it at this point, getting toward the end of May. Has it begun to happen already, or is this summer and beyond?
Well, you know, the hotel business is our benchmark, and right now, year to date for this calendar year, we're already 10% over last year, which was a great year.
Wow.
And there's really nothing that has happened in particular. It all kicked off a couple weeks ago with the convention season, but we have the Intel Science Fair in town right now, and then we're going to be moving from that one into the next convention and the next convention, which will go all the way to the end of the summer. And when you have big conventions in town, then it tends to really do some wonderful things for the hotel economy.
Yeah, I mentioned a couple of the conventions, but this is really an amazing lineup that's in store. So what comes after the Intel International Science?
Well, you use the word all-American. You know, we have a bunch of little things that are in, but the real mainstays for this summer are the Fraternal Order of Police. Their 100th anniversary convention is in Pittsburgh. Lodge number 1 is in Pittsburgh. It was formed here. We have the Veterans of Foreign War that are coming in later on in the summer. That's a very prestigious event. They haven't been here since the early 1900s, so we told them it was time to return.
The VFW has not come to Pittsburgh in a century? Wow, okay.
So that's a big one. And of course, our friends, the furries, are coming back. Anthrocons, a perennial that we have known to love every year, so they're returning. Those are some big points, but there are, you know, the Barbershop Harmony Society is something that you also mentioned. Barbershop quartets have grown exponentially since the advent of all the voice shows that are taking place.
All those a cappella shows.
Yes.
Okay.
And that has grown their ranks substantially. When we booked this convention 12 or 13 years ago, believe it or not, we booked it for this year, it was not the same size as it is now. It has grown in just leaps and bounds because of what is happening out there with the a cappella shows.
That's amazing. They were here about 20 years ago, right?
They were here 22 years ago. There was a very first convention I dealt with when I came to Pittsburgh. So it's a homecoming of sorts for me, but they've always been a great convention to draw from, and they're fun. You're going to see them all over the streets of Pittsburgh. Their big show is at the end in the Consol Arena, and I believe that that's a public show, so our locals can see them sing off against each other, but it's really going to be fun. You'll know they're in town.
Well, I remember that. I can remember that 22 years ago. Hate to say it, but they really were. They were around town. You'd find people singing barbershop. Yeah. They were on street corners. They were kind of all over. It was really a blast.
And it really has changed. It used to be on the older side, the demographics were on the older side. It is very much different now. It's skewing a lot younger. In fact, for our annual meeting a couple years ago, we brought in a group of guys that won the year prior. They were unbelievable, and it made me want to see this entire thing. It's not what you think, and I hope that they have a great welcome in Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's right. Oh, it's great to welcome all of these folks. The FOP, the VFW. I didn't realize the FOP was actually founded here in Pittsburgh, Lodge number 1. So fitting they would come back here for their centennial. And then in the middle of all of this, you've got a really good baseball team now that's playing well. Do you really see a big difference in terms of the hotel business when you're talking about a good baseball team?
Oh yeah, you know, in the last few years, the Pirates have always drawn for us. I mean, the summertime is our big individual tourist travel season. Our vacation visitors come in, but even more now, it's a reason to come in to see a great baseball team at the best park in the country. And it really becomes a very affordable vacation for these people. Pirates fans come in that don't necessarily live in Pittsburgh, and of course the opposing teams fans come in. So you'll see every time in the summer that there is a good homestand, you're going to see it draw. And then also Heinz Field is helping us in a big way this summer through the 3 big concert series that they have: Taylor Swift, Kenny Chesney, and of course the Rolling Stones. So those themselves sell out our hotels downtown.
So what, you get one big concert going on at Heinz Field and that's enough to sell out all of downtown Pittsburgh?
It's enough to put enough pressure on that everything else that's happening is will help to sell the hotels.
Okay, so it sells it out, right? Because there's already some business going on.
Right, it's something unusual that, and there's capacity now that it really gets filled. So it's a perfect storm this summer for hotels, and I would urge anybody that's watching that's thinking about getting a hotel this summer for any reason, get it soon, because they're really going to be at a premium.
At a premium. Oh, then it has to do wonders on rates too. It used to be Pittsburgh was kind of a cheap place to get it, especially on the weekends, to get a hotel room. That's no longer necessarily the case.
It's not necessarily the case, which is good for us that are in that business. Pittsburgh has one of the biggest demand areas in the Northeast. For a second-tier city, we have led the way almost without question in the last 8 or 9 years.
And that's why we see the hotels, the Cranes, the Hilton Garden Inn going up just off Market Square, but it seems everywhere you go around the region these days, somebody's building a hotel.
Right, supply and demand is a wonderful thing, and you know, right now Pittsburgh has a lot of construction going on in that realm, and we're able to the demand is picking it up, so it's really quite a phenomena that's happening in this region. It's a really positive sign for us and for our economy.
Really does. It speaks to the overall recovery of the economy and just that core business. This is not all about just special events.
Right, and you know, something that people might find interesting is the fact that tourism and all the related businesses along with it has grown to be the 4th largest employer in Allegheny County. That's something that you probably wouldn't understand. Of course, eds and meds, of course, energy,
financial services are pretty big.
All those are big, but now tourism is in that mix, and who would have thought? And it's just growing and growing and even getting better. So we're really poised for the future to bring in bigger and better conventions. We're poised to bring in more vacation tourists over the summertime. It's really, as I said, it's a wonderful time to be in this region working for doing what I do.
Wow. Well, congratulations for everybody who's been part of making it happen. Craig Davis from Visit Pittsburgh, thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Next up, We Can Do It, the new exhibit at the Heinz History Center that captures World War II on the home front here in our region. Stay with us.